Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. You may have noticed I don't have my fancy entry videos and all that because I just got hit by a dozen copyright notices. I bought a license, of course, for the software I'm using to make all those videos, but I've written to them. Let's hope and see that this gets resolved. Till then, it's just going to be plain vanilla sessions. But anyway, on the brighter side, I really like the fact that the markets are doing well today. Um, let's start off with the VXN. And out here I have the VXN, and I have plotted all the resistance and supports out here. And it seems like the VXN is right now being bound by resistance at 27.33, and VXN is the Nasdaq volatility index, and it's more closely linked to our CRISPR shares. So it has got a support here at 23.18, and it needs to come down below that for us to see more gains in the indices. And if we look at Nasdaq, so I have got this 0.08 positive, so it's just kind of hanging in there. And we have support for Nasdaq at 49.67, so it's bounced off. And hopefully we are able to go past this green channel here, which will also be a kind of resistance because it was giving a support for a long time. Let's go on to our CRISPR shares. Here we go. We have the CRISPR shares. Teladoc, Beam, they're all doing very well. Let me sort it according to the biggest gainer. So Bluebird is the biggest gainer today, followed by Beam, Intelia, Teladoc, CRISPR, ArcG, Edit, Vertex, and Regeneron is lagging behind. So if you look at the gains, it's all heavy gains, like 13% onwards and up to 7%. We can take that any day. Let us start by looking at the Bluebird chart, and we have strong gains here, two really big candles. Each candle is of 4 hours, and both the volumes are green, and it's looking good. MACD is also bullish. RSI is still not gone to overbought, so there's plenty of runway there. And what I notice here, which is really making me happy, is that earlier Bluebird used to oscillate within this bearish channel, downward channel, bounded by the red, which is a resistance line, and the green, which is a support line. So today we have strongly broken off above. And if I look at the volume histogram, it seems that we were on heavy volumes. I checked to see if there are any news items, and no news item has come out so far. So hopefully there must be something positive going on, or maybe the market has decided that given all over the markets are falling, and biotech shares that we are tracking, they have fallen a lot and they're at the bottom. So probably we are getting a move of money into this sector. So that's my thought process until further news comes. Let us look at Beam, which is the next one to gain around 12%. That translates to almost $9.50. So again, Beam has broken past a resistance that we had at 81.22. So I'm going to change the color very happily to green out here. And we have two resistance levels to cross over. One is at 87.94 and the other one is at 91.31. Today's gains were on very strong volumes, and now we are going to have the 11-day EMA and 50-day EMA both as support. So this is looking pretty good. MACD is also bullish, and we have plenty of runway on our RSI to get into overbought. So let the positive momentum continue. Intelia, it's at 11.9% gain, 13.64, and we are going to have a resistance at 132.97, and we also have resistance, which is this red line, which is a dropping wedge within which we have been constrained. So if we break through above this, then it will be a solid break. So let's hope for the best. MACD is looking good, and RSI is almost just about to enter into overbought territory. So let's watch what happens here tomorrow. Teladoc is looking good, 11.83% gain, and I have these two lines here. One is this green line below and the green line above. The green line above has been acting as a resistance, and we have broken past volumes. So I have converted that red line into green. So now this is going to act as a support. And we also have a resistance which was at 97.2, and we have crossed that. So I'm going to gladly mark this as a support. And we had another resistance which was at 97.79. We crossed that also. I'm going to mark it as a support pending retesting it. So we have bounced off the support, and we have to see if we can continue going above. The next resistance for us is at 99.72. With regard to Teladoc, I saw a very interesting article in Seeking Alpha which says why Teladoc stock jumped 12% today. And the thesis here is that because of the resurgence of COVID with the Omicron variant, and also President Joe Biden's warning that we are going to have a winter of severe illness and death. I think that this kind of gives a boost for a further jump in demand for Teladoc services. However, I would like to caution all our viewers based on the fact that we have the example of Peloton, which was doing very well, and then when the virus and the pandemic receded, Peloton stocks fell. So if you believe that telemedicine is going to be the future, then definitely it's a bullish case. Otherwise, you have to be very cautious, because once the pandemic subsides, we may see that Teladoc share may go down. That is my personal opinion. And as always, these are all my personal opinion and not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and make your own decisions based on financial advice that you get from your planner. So having said that, let's go on to look at CRISPR. So CRISPR is looking pretty good. We have broken off above one of the resistance today, and that was at 79.51. So that's a good news. And we are struggling against another resistance that is at 82.58. So we need to conclusively go past that. Right now we are at 82.73 post-market, and I think that tomorrow, if we have enough impetus, we may cross over that. And we also have support from this line, which used to bound us in a downward bearish channel for the longest time. So that's the next support. Our 100-day EMA as well as our 50-day EMA are becoming our support today. So that's another good positive for us. So we need to cross the 82.58 and 84.49 resistances to make further progress. But overall, it's looking good. ARCG is also looking good at 7.8% gain today. That's around 4.75. And we are fighting a resistance at 64.34. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to clear that. And let us look at Editas. Editas has done pretty well with 7.37% gain. And we are supported by the 11-day EMA. And we have a resistance at 29.75, which I'm going to convert. Probably tomorrow I'll convert that into a support if we stay above it. But overall, good movement by Editas. Let's look at Vertex. It's up 0.91%, and it is struggling to break up beyond 214.5. If it does that tomorrow, I'd be happy to mark it as a support. And if you look at this green line here, earlier it was a red line, and we had an upward wedge which was bounded by a red line above and a green line below. I've converted that a red line into a green line, showing that it's a support, and we bounced off it in the second half of the day. Each of these candles is 4 hours, so the second half of the day we bounced off it, but we have not been able to break through above 214.5. So I would watch this very closely tomorrow and see what happens. And if we have the continued support, we'll continue to try and break through about 214.5. Regeneron has been weak, and it's at 1.97 negative. That is $12.46 down, and it's below our support line before. So I'm going to convert that reluctantly into a red line. So we need to break past that. So that's the roundup so far for our CRISPR stocks. So what I would like to say is that given that we have an overall market, let's look at the heat map. And if we look at it, there's a whole sea of green. And yesterday, if you noticed, drug manufacturers general, this section was green and we were red. Today we are green and this is red. Yesterday the financials were green and today they are red. So my concept of looking for movement from sector to sector seems to be a bit valid at this point of time, because we have seen finance turn from green to red today, and also healthcare turn from green to red. These were two segments that we saw yesterday, which were green. And yesterday we were red, today we are green. Yesterday Tesla was red, today it is green. So there is some kind of a churning here and there, but I'm not able to find a particular pattern. So having said that, overall the market is volatile. There's a sea of red. We are very lucky to be in this ocean of green today, and I hope we continue the same tomorrow as well. So until next time, thanks, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. And I will quickly sort out this copyright issues, and hopefully I'll be back with much better quality of videos with more video clippings and music and other things. Till then, please bear with me, and your support is much appreciated. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye for now.